This video will show you how to replace the rear outside door handle on a Cadillac CTS. You'll have one of these on each side of your vehicle attached to your rear door. Let's get into it. Just a quick note about doing this job, you will need to have your window in the fully upright position. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. We're removing the door panel. So we're starting up along our door lock knob on the upper outer corner. If you were looking closely at this, you can see that you do have a square locking tab here. I'm using a small angled pick to get inside of this groove. I'll carefully start pulling it out. Once you pull out on that locking tab, you should be able to lift up on that knob. Just a quick inspection of that, we'll set it aside. We're making our way down towards the inside door handle next. We're going to remove this plastic panel. To remove this, I'm using a plastic trim tool. I'll just make my way right along the front area here. I'm going to start prying it away. Now, as I start prying it away, I'm going to have to pull on that handle. We'll give this a wiggle. It should want to break free. We can rotate it and slide it out of place. Just a quick inspection of that panel, of course, and we'll set that aside for now. Now let's move down towards our grab handle. Looking in and behind this area, you can see that we have an oval port. It has a cover. This actually has 4 locking tabs. It's fairly easy to pry out of place. We're just going to use our pocket screwdriver. You can see those locking tabs. We'll set that aside. With that cover out of the way, as you look inside this area, you're going to find that you have 2 Phillips head screws. Let's remove the pair. Use our Phillips head for this. Just going to use a magnet to take hold of that. Now we'll continue on with our plastic trim tool. We're going to go in between the door panel and the door and start separating it. I'm making my way down from one side along the bottom. We'll continue on pulling it away. But up along the top, you're going to find that the panel actually has to be lifted up to be removed. Let's use our trim tool here, make our way in between. There we are. Remove the door panel from the vehicle. A quick inspection will set this aside. Now that we have the door panel out of the way, we're going to have to make our way inside of this area, so I'm going to remove this metal panel. To remove the metal panel, I like to start by removing the electrical wiring harness from its mounting point. I'm just going to slide it right off of this mounting stud. If you have a hard time doing that by hand, you can use a small prying device. We'll use a 10mm for each mounting nut, so we can slide this panel out of the way. Continuing on, we're going to be removing a portion of our vapor barrier. We have to make our way inside of this area. So with that said, as we look through the clear vapor barrier, you can see the adhesive. It's butyl tape, and it's going to be extremely sticky. Just keep that in mind. Don't get on your skin or your clothing. We're going to, of course, be reusing this, so we don't want to cause any damage. Just start pulling it away. If you need to, you could use a razor blade to break it free. Just be careful not to actually rip anything here. Now continuing on, we're going to have to gain access to some hardware. Most of it's going to be out in the open, inside of this area, but there is one piece that's easiest to remove through this circular port. We have a protective cover, so let's go ahead and remove that. You can use pretty much anything as a prying device for this. I'm just using a trim tool because it does have a small angle to it. Helps me pry. Now that we have that circular port cover out of the way, there's a couple different things we can do inside of this port. The first thing I'm going to do is use a long angled pick. I'm going through the port, and what I'm looking for is this rod that makes its way down to this yellow connector. We're going to dislodge the connector. I'm using the angled pick as a prying device. I'll pull out and away on the locking tab and dislodge this. After you've done that, take hold of the rod and slide that out of place. That can be done by hand or just continue on with your pick. Through this same port, there's going to be a mounting nut, but let's pause on that and we'll continue on with a couple other pieces of hardware. After dislodging that rod, you're going to find that you have a small Phillips head screw down along the bottom. This screw is holding a small plastic bracket in place. Remove the screw and the corresponding bracket. It's going to come through this port. Slide that out of there. Just a quick inspection of our plastic tab and of course our small Phillips head mounting screw. After removing that, we have 2 more pieces of hardware. Along each side of the outside door handle, you're going to find that you have a 10mm mounting nut. Remove this first one. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. I'm going through the port that we had removed that protective cover from. From along the outside of the door, we're going to take hold of the outside door handle. We'll lift up on the handle as if we were trying to open the door. Now we can twist this and pull it out of place. Continuing on, we're going to remove the rod from the back side of the handle. Now, as far as this rod, you can see that it does have a hooked end. It may be beneficial to apply some lubricant. We'll take hold of the rod, we're going to twist it and roll it out of position. A thorough inspection of that rod, we will be reusing this. There it is, friend. Prior to installing our part, let's make sure we clean and inspect our mounting area. So we're looking at the door. For this, I'm going to use some glass cleaner and a clean rag. Just give it a quick wipe here. Obviously, it's your door. Clean it as well as you deem fit. A close inspection, no rust or rot. Okay, let's get ready to install that outside door handle. Let's have a quick look along the back side. As you remember during the removal process, we did have one rod. This has an angled end. Apply some lubricant. We'll slide it through this corresponding port. We're going to press and start rolling it in. Be careful not to cause any damage to the handle itself. We'll leave this in the hanging position, and now we can get this in position in the door. As far as bringing this into the door, we're starting with the rod first. We'll bring it in through our port. Now, as we bring this in, we have the upper portion. We'll bring this in at an angle. We're aligning the mounting studs with the corresponding ports on the door, and we'll press it in. Now, while we hold this towards the door, we need to make our way on the inboard side for our mounting hardware. Let's start with our two 10mm nuts. Start that one onto my socket, right onto the stud here. That one started on. I'm going over to the other side. Go ahead and do the same exact thing, and then we'll snug them up. Go ahead and snug them up. Now it's time for our small plastic bracket. It will be in this orientation. Once we have it in the proper placement, we have our Phillips head screw. That's going to go in the center port. Let's get our plastic bracket in place. And our mounting screw just coming through that port. Now as I start bringing this in, I'm making sure that I can see my brackets up against the door. That holds the bottom portion of the handle up against the door. Make sure that's nice and tight. Just a thorough inspection down along the bottom area here. As I mentioned, it needs to be up against the door. Now it's time to reinstall our rod. As far as this rod is concerned, we need to have our yellow locking tab in the unlocked position pulled away. Go ahead and take hold of that rod. We'll slide it into place. As far as this rod, you should not have to lift up or down on it. We're just going to press it in, lock it down with our yellow locking connector. The next thing you want to do is just go ahead and test that door handle. Ensure that the rod does not fall out of place. Perfect. Let's reinstall our protective plug on our circular port. Line it up, press it in. There we go. Just one last quick inspection while we're in this area, and we can reinstall our vapor barrier. This looks good. So we'll just start getting this in place. Now, of course, you can see where all of that sticky butyl tape was located previously. That's where I'm attempting to line it with now. We want to try to press this back into the original position. You can see that there are a few mounting studs. We'll just make sure we have those lined up, press through. Just make sure it's stuck all the way around. Let's get this metal panel in place. We're sliding it over all four of our mounting studs. When you do have it in place, start on all four of your 10mm headed mounting nuts. After they're all started on, snug them up. We'll secure our wiring harness in the proper placement. Just press it on there. It's time to reinstall the door panel. As far as the door panel is concerned, there's a couple things to focus on when we bring this into place. Up along the top, you have a small metal ridge that'll fit along this area next to your window. As we make our way down along the center of the door panel, we have the electrical connector that will go into this portion on the door, which is also an electrical connector. The two slide together. You're going to find you have locating tabs and locking tabs. Those will fit into their corresponding ports, and then we'll just tap this in. With that said, let's start up along the top. We're coming up nice and high so we can bring that ridge down into the proper placement. I always like to make sure I can gain access to my door lock rod. We're just going to tap this down. We'll take a quick peek in this area. We need to make sure that everything's aligned, and then we're going to press it in towards the door just as I mentioned. Okay, everything looks like it's aligned, so I'm going to start pressing this in. This is feeling good. A couple light taps here. Let's go all the way around the door. And of course, double check to make sure it's properly secured in place. With the door panel properly pressed in place, let's look just underneath our grab handle. We need to install our 2 Phillips head screws and then install the protective panel. The screws are the same. You don't have to worry about mixing them up. Start them in, snug them up. Let's go ahead and install our plastic panel. Line it up, press it in. We'll make our way towards the inside door handle. Let's install our trim panel. We're bringing the handle through the slot on the trim panel there. Let's press it in towards the door panel. There we are. Listen for an audible click from that. Make sure it's secured in place. Now it's time for the door lock knob. We have it in the unlocked position. We're going to align it with our door lock rod. Start sliding it down. Now as we slide it down, it can only go so far while it's in the locked position. With it being rested in this position, press in the lock. Go ahead and test that door lock real quick, leaving it in the unlocked position. Now let's test the outside door handle in comparison to the door latch to confirm it functions properly prior to shutting the door. So with that said, I'm going to be using a screwdriver, using this as the striker which will be attached to the body of the vehicle. If I was to shut the door, the latch thinks that it's in the closed position. Now if you were to try to open the door with it in the closed position, it should not release. I'm holding pressure. While I hold pressure on this, I'm going to pull on the outside handle. As you can see, it did release. Let's repeat that. That's in the closed position. I'm holding pressure, does not release, and then it does when I pull the handle. Now let's go ahead and close the door and reopen it. Perfect. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.